class, happy Monday! Welcome back to Homeschool with Carly, where I share a lesson every single day. Today's lesson / experiment / fun activity is going to be, drumroll, candles! Yes, homemade candles. And this is super easy and you barely need any materials. However, some of the materials you might not find at home, but I'm going to give you an alternative to all of the materials, except one, but I think you'll be okay with that. So let's get started. The first thing you're going to need is a glass jar. So I chose this Yoplait yogurt jar. I got this at the supermarket and it was so delicious, and I really love these glass jars that I bought 8 of them, and I saved all of them because I knew that I could do something fun and crafty with them. So I think you'll be excited to eat these yogurts. And guess what? If you're vegan, they also make them in coconut. So you should definitely run to the store and get some of these Yoplait yogurts. So the next thing that you're going to need is some sort of essential oil. So I am going to use peppermint oil. Now, you might not have any essential oils in your house, but I bet you have an old candle lying around. And if you take a knife and you scrape out the excess of the candle at the bottom of the glass jar, you can take those scrapings and put them inside your candle jar, and you will have a new aroma that will come from your candle. And you're using something from something else that you've used previously, so you are saving the environment as well. The next thing that you are going to need is wax. Now, I'm going to use pure beeswax. Now, you probably don't have wax in your house. This is a very funny ingredient. However, I'm sure most of you have crayons in your house. Now, if you take an old crayon and you put it on a cheese grater, you can grate the crayon and then take the little gratings and put them inside your jar. Or you can chop them up really tiny and put that in the jar as well. So I'm sure you can think of ways that you can find wax around your house. And if you have an old candle, like I said previously, you can scrape out the scrapings and use that as well. So whatever you choose to do is completely fine. The final thing that you will need for this experiment / activity / fun is you will need a wick. Now, a wick is not something that you can just replace, unfortunately. Now, what a wick is it has this little stand right here, and this is a piece of rope that is dipped in wax. So technically, if you took a rope, a cotton rope, and you dipped it in wax, wet wax, and let it dry, you would have a wick, but I don't know if I would completely trust it. But if you go to AC Moore or Michael's or some sort of craft store, you can pick up 100 wicks for like $3, and it's so worth it because you guys, once you start making candles, you are not going to want to stop. This is super fun. So the first thing that we're going to want to do to make our candle is grab that wax. So either you're going to start grating your crayons or chop them up, or if you happen to go to Michael's or a craft store, you can pick up some natural beeswax and you can use that. So I'm going to start by pouring my beeswax into my glass jar. You're going to want to fill up the jar all the way to the top. And then once your jar is completely filled to the top, you're going to want to microwave it, okay? That is the best way to do it. Now, there are multiple ways that you can make this candle, and you could melt this over the stove top and then pour it into the glass jar, or you can just melt it in your glass dish. this is the easiest way and the least making of a mess. So I would suggest melting your wax inside this jar. It will make your life so much easier. So I would say this is going to take about 5 to 8 minutes in the microwave. But I always like to do increments. So I would put this in for 2 minutes, see how it's doing, put it in for another 2 minutes, check on it, repeat. So once this comes out of the microwave, I will show all of you what our candle looks like next and what our next steps are. All right, we're back. Look how liquefied that looks. It is super hot, so I'm not going to touch it yet. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this wick and push it into the candle wax. Okay? So I'm going to take you with me, and we're just going to drop this directly into the bottom. Okay? And it will stand on its own, but you can use something to hold it up like a clip, but it should stand on its own because it's a flat bottom. Okay? Next, we're going to want to add in that peppermint oil. Okay? So we would put a couple drops in, and then our candle to cool down, and then it should smell super nice. So let's add in our drops of peppermint oil. So as you can see, I'm going to squeeze the top, and I have that much peppermint oil. I shouldn't add much more than that because peppermint oil is very strong. Okay, so I'm going to take you with me, and as you can see, I'm just going to put a couple of drops here and there around the candle. Keep going in circles, and then we wait. Okay, so we will check in on our candle in about an hour. Well, our candle cooled, and it's totally ready to burn. How awesome is that? All you did was melt some wax, throw in a wick, and let it cool, and you have yourself an awesome candle. And this can be great for a gift. You could give this to somebody, and they would love it because it's from you and made by you. I hope you enjoyed this video.